Yeah, I was really pleased with how we started the game and really how we played the entire first half. I thought that our team was very locked in, um, paid attention to detail, shot the ball well, did a lot of things really, really sharp in the first half. And, it had a considerable lead at halftime and may have let our guard down a little bit, and that's just me nitpicking, but I was pleased that we were able to play everyone. I thought that it's good as you go along. You just don't ever know when your numbers are going to get called in NCAA tournament play, so I think it was very good for everyone to get some playing time and get their feet wet with the NCAA tournament. So good win for us.
We'll begin with questions to our student athletes, please.
Ariel, did you get a sense that you could come out and just overwhelm them at the beginning?
We definitely knew we needed to be focused. We knew what they were capable of doing, and I think it was important for us in the first 5 minutes of the game to be really focused.
How good is it to just get this game out of the way, you get the win, you advance, everybody's able to play? How much confidence does that give you?
I think it gives us a good amount of confidence. I think the confidence comes from knowing what we did. We focused on their tendencies and what they did well, and I think we actually used our preparation and we listened to our coaches and we stuck with the game plan. I think that's where the confidence comes from.
Anything to add, LaShawn?
I would, like Ariel said, that's where the confidence comes from. I mean, we stress and practice every day how important tendency is. Respecting their tendencies are, and how we just can't let our guard down because you never know what might happen.
Andrew Jones spoke to you guys at the half. What was that like? Good to see him again.
He brings good times. Getting to see him and just getting to talk to him and just kind of be around him. He's just a good, fun person to be around. So his spirit and just his joking and laughing with us, just kind of felt like hanging out with him. Halftime gave us a few words, so it was really good to see him.
Sean, do you think that the team is playing better at this point right now than we were at this point last year?
Good question. I would say that we definitely are playing more as a team now, and there's a lot that we've been working on throughout the season, and we just try to focus on the things that we can control and not worry about the things we cannot control. So I would say that, it's been a fun year. So.
Players, did you realize that you didn't even let them have a rebound in the first nearly 8 minutes of the game?
LaShawn, do you want to begin?
What does that speak to about you were able to physically overwhelm them?
That was one thing that we actually had on the board, and it was like rebound with exclamation marks. So, that's exactly what we try to do is rebound. But to answer your question, no, I don't think we noticed that.
What's it like going to be like to go from that position of having such an easy time on the glass to going against a team that had 21 offensive rebounds? How do you kind of lock back in? I think you said it today.
I would say that is definitely a mindset that we have to go into the next game, because for every team now on, we definitely have to respect what they do. So I would say it's like a mentality that we have to go into the next game with, because they're definitely a physical team.
Do you want to add anything, Ariel?
I would say they're a physical basketball team, and in order for us to do what we want to do, we're going to have to rebound.
Ariel, new T-shirts. Was it somebody's idea, and what's the meaning behind it?
Honestly, I think every team has this shirt. I just think they all have their own, I guess it's a slogan on it, or I guess our mantra for the year, and ours is family. And the backstory to that kind of is focusing on picking each other up and focusing on one day at a time. I think that's what a family consists of. Just making sure that everybody is at their best, and when somebody's not at their best, be there to pick them up. And I think that's helped us a lot throughout the year. Well, you just said that, so yeah. I have not thought about that. Wow. I don't know what to say. They've been the best fans that I've ever been around. They support us through absolutely everything, and to be able to play in front of them for the last time, I really don't. I can't put that into words. I'm just so thankful for this program and everything it's done for me. Our fans, I can't put that into words. How thankful I am of them.
When you guys feel like the team did well offensively,
LaShawn, would you like to begin?
I would say that we definitely executed better this game, and we went through with the game plan, and we tried to be as patient as possible. I mean, there were times that we got a little sloppy and let our guard down, but we discussed it in the timeouts that we need to pick it back up and continue to do what we were doing that worked.
Anything to add?
She hit it on the nail, honestly.
Anything more for the student athletes? All right, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
As a reminder, Texas's locker room is open for the next 20 minutes, but we'll take questions for Coach.
Sharon, you were pleased to see your team locked in. It would have been easy today to kind of come out and kick the ball around a little bit. What does that say to you just in terms of the team's mindset coming into this tournament with a couple of seniors done for football?
Well, I think you hit it on the head just in the sense of senior leadership. I really didn't think that we would not be focused, but because I base everything on practice, and I thought yesterday's preparation was really, really good. So you always feel good as a coach. I mean, sometimes it doesn't work out the way you want it to, but if you feel like you're prepared, then that's about all you can do but throw the ball up and see what happens. And I thought that our team was pretty locked in yesterday in practice, and they really have been since we've returned from the little break we took. So didn't surprise me that we were ready to play, but I did think we were pretty sharp the first half. Mm-hmm. Well, I happened to be walking down here, and the men's team had just arrived back from Nashville, and Rob hollered at me and said, "Did you know Andrew was back in the locker room? He was with the men." And so I walked back that way and ran into Shaka, and I said, "Can I say hello?" And Shaka took me back in the locker room with the guys, and I just walked back there and said, "Hey," he said, "I want to come to the game." And I said, "Well, if you're going to come to the game, why don't you say hi to the girls?" And didn't catch him before the game. I was really hoping he would come in before the game, and so Chris brought him back at half. And some things are bigger than basketball, and for him to be able to come in, and a lot of these girls are really good friends with Andrew, and they care deeply about him and his experience that he's having, and sometimes you just have to say whatever. And it's a good chance for them to share some moments. And I don't know, I kind of went back into the coaches' locker room and talked to the coaches and said, "Hey, you can have them for a few minutes." And I could hear a lot of laughing and good times. I think they took a team picture with him. So it was good. It was good for the girls, and it was good to have him back around. He looks great.
Was that one of the more unique halftime?
Absolutely. I tell you what, it's good to be home. I can tell you that, because last year I believe Mac Brown came in and gave quite an inspirational speech before we played. I don't remember I think it may have been the second game, but that's the great thing about being at home, is that you get to see people one more time and experience things that you probably wouldn't experience on the road.
You said you felt like they were ready to play and you were pleased about it on the first half. Did anything surprise you about how well you performed today?
I think I said this in the press conference before the game. It is a little bit refreshing to get away from league play. And I mean, 3 out of the 4 of our league teams have won their first round games, and our league is tough, and I don't think we give it the credit that it deserves, because it is so tough, and that double round robin sometimes just can beat you in the head, and I think when you get away from it, you are able to take a breath. And our team looked refreshed, that they were playing someone that didn't necessarily know every move they were going to make. So to answer your question, it surprised me a little bit that they didn't execute some things that I had seen them execute against other people. I mean, I think Maine is a good team, and they're well coached, and they execute really well. So the way we played defensively the first half was very pleasing to all of us.
Is that strength of schedule? You mentioned the Big 12, the strength. You played Baylor 3 times, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, West Virginia.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say you're not going to be overwhelmed by any opposition because you've already seen top-level opposition, unlike Maine that did not see much of this?
I think just the level of preparation that it takes, it doesn't seem abnormal to, as I said, to lock in, because I mean you have to do that for a lot of games in a row just to be competitive in our league, and you have to bring it every night. So I think just the fact that our team has gotten used to that, and they're getting better every year. We've gotten much better at just trying to treat every game the same, and I know you get tired of hearing that from our players, but they really have tried to live that this year. And I think it's helped them in the good times and the bad.
Brooke had 7 rebounds tonight in 24 minutes. I think she's up over 4 for the season. Have you noticed a difference with her in that area? And if so, what does that add to have your 5'4" point guard?
Well, I love point guards that rebound. I would have to say that's not what I recruited Brooke to do. But I do love point guards that rebound. It's something that I actually look at in the recruiting process. Again, not with Brooke, but she's discovered these ways to maneuver and sort of pick up the loose ones when people box out. But I do love point guards that rebound because we like to transition, and it obviously starts your transition game if your point guard already has the ball in her hands.
One of the players said you were somebody who wrote rebound in the locker room with an exclamation point. I mean, was that a big emphasis going into the game? I'm going to guess they passed that test.
I thought they passed it for most of the game, and just because I thought Maine would try to control the tempo. And if we can get stops and get rebounds and get outlets and get out quicker, then we can try to get some buckets that are a little bit easier than having to go against their set defense, which is kind of what happened. So that's why obviously rebounding is an emphasis every game, but we wanted to try to get out in transition against them.
You got a team that's going to be able to bustle up with you in the second round. What's the message on the whiteboard going to be now?
Rebound. I will say that was, you always look at something differently when you see them in person. And that was the thing that kind of jumped out at me watching Arizona State right off the bat, is that Nebraska didn't seem to be able to get a rebound. And that was a big determining factor in that game. It was close for a long time, and they absolutely controlled the boards from the tip. So we have our hands full, no question. No, we talked about what happened in the women's game today. 3 mid-majors won. Before the game, we discussed it. And I just said, you don't want that to happen in your house. Let's be ready to play. But the game is getting better. That's a good. I don't think that's a terrible thing. Obviously, it would have been for us tonight, but more parity. I was a mid-major coach. I guess that's what you would have called Charlotte, and we laced up our shoes just like everybody else did. So I think that you have to be ready to play when it's tournament time. But I will say those games were fun to watch last night. Well, true. My favorite so far has been watching Buffalo play. That town's got to be going crazy right now. Their men and women both won. Oh. The women had an upset.
Coach, with this quick turnaround, how do you prepare for a team that, like you said, you're not quite as familiar with because they're not in the conference?
Well, I think we've experienced this quite often just because we have these turnarounds in conference play quite a bit. We're fortunate enough to play on ESPN sometimes on Mondays and we've had some quick turnarounds like this that we always talk about in that moment, which is this is what this is going to feel like in the NCAA tournament. So I think our team is somewhat used to that they've had to one day in between. So I don't think there'll be a surprise to them at all. They do have to go back to school on Monday. They did ask me that. I said, yes, you do. But other than that, I think this will be a normal routine for them.